Hey, welcome to this video. We're going to look at how to add a photo and edit a photo using Canva. It's really simple. One of the great things about Canva is you can add photos really simply from multiple places. Obviously, you can upload them, you can bring them in from Google Photos. There's lots of places you can bring them in. So let's have a look at how we can do that. First of all, we're going to need a blank design. So let's go for Instagram, see what it brings up. And we'll just go along here. It's probably the easiest place, quite frankly, to find one. Instagram post, there we go. Square, blank, nice and easy. And now we've got that, we need to add a photo. So easiest place to get photos is your uploads. To get a photo into uploads, all you need to do is click upload files and then choose a photo from your desktop and click OK, and up it will come. Nice and simple. When it's uploaded, you'll see it sitting there. If you click on it, it'll bring it in. You can grab the little handles here to resize. You can see the handles on different corners. Now there's a few things to note. If you grab this one, you can see you can crop the photo. Nice and easy. So if I want to get rid of all of that and just leave myself in there, there we go, it's cropped off a little bit. I can also grab this corner. Now if I bring it down on an angle, you'll notice that it actually shrinks the whole photo. If I hold the Option key down, I now get details come up, as you can see when I click on that. And if I hold that key down, which is the alternate key, you see those details don't show up. So very easy to bring in a photo that way. Now, of course, there is other options for bringing photos into Canva. And one of the things I like is the fact that I can go down to Google Photos and I can bring them in through there. Now, if you don't have it already installed in your Canva, just go into Apps, type in Photos, and you'll see all of these places where you can pull photos from. Some of them are AI, some of them from your Instagram feed, wherever you want them. In this case, you want to go to Google Photos. Now, when you go to Google Photos, you click on that, it will ask permission to get access to that file and that folder and all the information that's in there. So you've just got to give permission for it to connect to your Google account. Once that's done, you'll see it show up on the left-hand side here. If I click on Google Photos, I can see all my photos starting to come up on the side there. And if I want to bring one in, I can just grab that one in my car and drop it there. And you can see it's actually uploading. When I go to uploads, you'll now see it's stored in uploads. So nice and simple. If I want to get rid of a photo, click on it and press the delete key. I can now take that photo and enlarge it. Now, there's a lot of options of things you can do with this. Obviously, we can add a photo. Well, let's have a look at editing. So first of all, we got flip. I can flip it horizontal. I can flip it vertical. Okay. I can use transparency to make it thin so the background behind it shows through it. I can leave it 100%. And if I want to lock it in place so that it can't be moved while I'm adding other elements, I can just click the lock. Okay. And if I click this and unlock, it'll come unlocked and now I can do things again. As I said, under Edit Photo But, there's a whole pile of other stuff. My favorite, of course, is Background Remover. You click on that. And hey presto, your background is going to disappear and you'll be left with, in this case, just the car. All being well, it should bring back a pretty neat photo. Although it looks like it's kind of made that a bit of a mess. That happens sometimes, don't worry about it. In this case, you can just undo that. So just Control Z to undo. There's other things you can do over here. You've got all your filters. So if I want to add a filter, I can add a filter. And they give you your typical sort of Instagram effects that we see everywhere. And then there's other ideas like shadows and autofocus. You can click on that and it will work on the photo for you. And then you can do things like, play with the blur and bring the blur up or take the blur right down. Whatever you want to do with that. You can change the focus position. You can see where that purple is hitting now. The focus is moving to that part. So if I move that to there, it'll bring the focus in on that corner and I bring the blur intensity up. You'll see this corner still stays pretty good. Now there was a pretty bad photo. So what I might do is just get rid of that photo. So I'm just going to go back out of there, press delete. I'm going to choose a better photo. Let's take one here of one of my fire trucks, because they're always fun. Nothing like a good fire truck for fighting wildfires. And let's go into edit photos, and let's go into autofocus, and let's see what we can do now. As you can see, the sun is hitting this side, so it's focused on this side. You can see the background now has that bokeh type glare, and I can increase the intensity of that so the truck stands out. If I remove my focus position a bit to there, you can see it's even clearer. But see, now at the front of the truck has gone a little bit blurry. So let's just fiddle with that a bit. What I will do is move it back there. You can see it goes completely blurry. Move it to here, it goes blurry. And it's just a matter of fiddling a little bit. So it doesn't always work perfectly. Honestly, the best thing you can do, click remove autofocus, is to let the software do its thing. And that's the beauty of this, is the software actually has the ability to think for itself. Shadows, we can add drop shadows to photos. You'll notice you get this drop shadow around the edge of the photo, so it looks like it's sitting up. And that's a nice effect if you want it to sit above the background so it doesn't show. Magic Expand is an interesting one. So first of all, I've actually got to get rid of that shadow. So let's go back to none. And let's see, hang on, it's not removing it. Come on, glow, none. There we go. Sometimes things don't work perfectly in Canva, but generally speaking, you know, you can get it done right. If I bring that in a bit like this, and then we go in here and we go to Magic Expand, and we go whole page and click. What this tries to do is actually create a background for the whole photo that takes up the whole of that square, of that Instagram square that we've created. So who knows what it's going to turn out like, but let's click the button and see. The problem with AI is new. Now, in this case, I think it's actually done a pretty good job. The road looks a bit rough, but that's all right. And obviously you've got the background with the trees and all that. Overall, I think it's done a pretty good job. If I click done, and I just grab that center handle and crop that a bit, that's not a bad photo overall. So well done to Canva's AI. We now have a much bigger photo than how we started out. Just to give you an idea, there's our original photo. And here's our photo that we have expanded. And you can see there's much more room in front of the truck now that it's actually created from scratch. So that's the basic ways of editing photos and adding photos and things to Canva. If you play more, you get to learn more. Don't forget, you've got Adjust, which gives you all your things like, you know, your tints and all that, and your brightness, and, you know, all the basic photo editing skills. They're all in there. You can play around with those. Color edits, you can switch colors out. You can do all sorts of things. If I change the hue of that color, you can see all the blues are going purple, etc. The best idea is really to play with the tools. When you play with the tools, you learn so much more. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video on how to add a photo to Canva and also how to edit them a little bit. Catch you in the next one.